Hey, good Monday night for you here. I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Time now is 8:22, and wanted to join you on Facebook and talk about some of the showers and thunderstorms that are heading our way. Some of you during the overnight hours may very well wake up, or if you've got kids, pets, particularly sensitive to the thunder and lightning, they may wake up as well. So we'll talk about these storms and what we expect tonight, and then also talk about Tuesday, tomorrow, with record warm temperatures and an approaching system here. What could that mean for us in Central Illinois? We'll break that down for you as well here on our digital platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube and Twitter. Also, you can stream us on the WCIA3 weather app whenever we go live with weather updates like this. Checking in, first off, let me know where you're watching from. A lot of folks checking in here in the area. We've got Sally in Danville. Looks like we've got Elaine from Metcalf and Chad from Mattoon checking on in. You can let me know where you're watching from. Also, if you have any questions at any point, I'll get to those at the end. We'll answer those about the chance for some of these showers and storms, and then we will wrap this up. Remember, we've got a newscast on WCIX at 9, WCIA3 News at 10. You can also get updates on the forecast right now on the WCIA3 weather app or on our website, WCIA.com. I've got a big write-up on what the next 24 hours will bring here in Central Illinois. A little bit of a roller coaster, I think, with how things are going. Let's talk now about some of these showers and storms coming our way here. This is a live look at Storm Tracker Doppler over the last couple of hours here. And you don't see much, but finally, recently seeing showers and storms now southwest of Effingham moving in our direction. We'll take a closer look at those here. Most of these showers and storms are just that. No severe weather with them, but a lot of lightning with them for January standards here. That's Centralia. There's Effingham. Right here is Springfield, St. Louis. It's there. So if you're looking for Champaign-Urbana, it's that way. This batch moving to the north and northeast here, and I think eventually this will move into parts of Decatur and Mattoon-Charleston, Champaign and Danville, and bring us some lightning and thunder as we go through 9, 10, 11 o'clock before it continues off to the north. This is going to be the first batch of rain and storms that comes our way. It will not be the only batch here in Central Illinois that arrives tonight. We'll expect to see some more here. Zooming out, that's just the first round. There's more showers and storms in the warm sector here off to the south and west. Pretty impressive on some of the rainfall rates as well. I think down in southern Illinois, say Paducah, down towards McLeansboro, Mount Vernon, Carbondale, and up into southwest Indiana, they could have some pretty torrential rains and a flooding threat down there. Not so concerned about a flooding threat here, though. Maybe some localized ponding on the roadways, but we should be okay on that side, but I think we're still going to get a good drink of rain. There's the warm front. If you've looked outside all day and you have seen fog, blame that red line right there. That warm front divides the warm and humid air mass with the cold and drier air mass, and where that mixes together, we've got fog. Still got those dense fog advisories. I will show you that in a minute. This is part of a pretty impressive system now. The center of the low pressure, western Kansas, moving into southwestern Nebraska, and pulling a lot of moisture up with it here. A lot of torrential rain for southern Illinois. That is heading our way. Some good soaking rain with areas of thunderstorms as well on the backside. Look at some of those alerts here. There's severe weather, a tornado threat from Kansas and Oklahoma through much of Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas. Off to the north and west then, winter storm warnings from Wyoming and Colorado all the way up to Minneapolis, St. Paul, with even ice storm warnings for parts of central Nebraska to just north of Omaha into northwestern Iowa. We will stay on the warmer side of things here in Central Illinois. That's the good news. No winter weather for us, but still on the warmer side. We've got some fog out there in the region, dense fog advisory until midnight for counties in gray. If you've got your WCIA3 weather app, you've known about that. You got that update. Let's talk about that fog. There's that warm front still off to the north. A lot of spots are clearing out, and I think we'll clear the fog out here with due time, trade that for some rain here, and that should allow for at least a little sunshine tomorrow. Let's talk more about the rain here, though. Notice as we go the next couple of hours, that rain continues to fill on in. And 10, 11, 12, we see that rain now crossing I-74. Some guidance has been suggesting there might be a pocket of dry air in the middle of all of this. And if that does happen, those rainfall totals might be on the lower end of that ½ inch to an inch we've expected. I still think some spots, particularly towards I-70, could get an inch, if not a little more than that. And so we'll keep an eye on that here. But that dry air Might cut back into rainfall totals a little bit. Still though, 2 a.m., got another batch of showers and even a few thunderstorms pulling on through. The good news is with all of this here, the atmosphere is pretty stable. So severe weather really not expected, though maybe a couple of those cells could have some small hail. Nothing worth getting all worked up over, but plenty of lightning and thunder certainly as a given with these as they continue to carry on through. Look at 6:30 in the morning. Pretty much done with that here. We might have clouds and maybe a little mist and drizzle. I think there won't be much fog at that point though, but it looks drier. This is what we've got to watch for Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be an interesting day for us here. Notice as we get into the afternoon here, look at this, a big pocket of sunshine in here. We get a dry slot in the back side of that, the bottom side of that low pressure, pulling in some drier air aloft. Might help break those clouds away, which could very well allow for some sunshine into tomorrow afternoon. Now, with that, where the temperatures are heading and with that sunshine, it raises some eyebrows and has some questions for us and what can happen with this chance for maybe a few showers and storms. Some future track says, maybe tomorrow we'll get through dry, and that may very well be what happens here. If that does happen, tomorrow is warm in the afternoon with some sunshine, a great excuse to get outside. It'll be a little windy. We'll have those winds 15 to 25 miles an hour out of the south and west. If that happens, this is why the cap is a key role in that here. Now, when we look at those temperatures, I'm going to pull this full screen for you so you can read it. When we go up in the atmosphere, straight up, in general, the atmosphere cools with height. And that is usually what happens here. Now, the cap is where we actually get a little layer of air that is warmer than the air below it. You see how this temperature is 65, 50, that yellow box there where it's 55 on the left, 40 on the right. On the right side would be what we normally see here. The left side, though, that's what we call the cap. Air likes to rise as it's warm. It cannot rise, though, if the air above it is warmer. It slows it down and stops it and spreads it out. That's why it's called a cap. Think of it as a lid on your pot on the stove there. That lid keeps the steam under there. Eventually you get enough steam and it can start to leak out the sides there and push on through. But that cap really prevents that warm air from rising, and that can generally allow for some more sunshine to break on through. If there's still some clouds, they're generally lower. We don't look for storms in that type of scenario. On the other side, though, where there's no cap, we've got cooler air moving upwards with height. Temperature continues to decrease. That allows for warm air to rise freely. If we're able to break the cap, and there's a couple of ways we can do that, we become uncapped, we become unstable. And that can allow for some showers and storms to form. This primarily thought process is for Tuesday, something that we're going to have to watch and keep an eye on here. We may very well end up on this side, and if that happens, tomorrow afternoon is going to be beautiful out there. A little windy, but for January standards, we'll take it. Record high temperatures. If we get a couple of showers and storms, though, that might take advantage of some of the ingredients, and so we'll have to watch and see what happens. There's plenty of wind shear in the atmosphere. There's plenty of lift, a cold front coming on through eventually, and we've got moisture here. You'll see that moisture tonight with the rain. But for tomorrow, the instability, unclear still. I'm tending to think we might scrape through okay. We just got to watch it. A very conditional threat for us here. One thing to watch here is that atmospheric fuel, a look at instability. Some guidance does bring instability values up as we go into tomorrow afternoon. That's Tuesday, 3 o'clock. Once we start seeing these green shades, we start to get maybe just enough instability to make something pop. And through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in particular, if something did get going, Effingham, Mattoon, Charleston, and Paris. But I wouldn't rule it out anywhere generally southeast of I-55. I'll have that for Champaign, Decatur, maybe as far west as Taylorville. We'll include Danville, Watseka in that mix, and West Indiana as well. Is it going to be enough? Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Okay, something happened. The computer glitched on there. I don't know what it was. That happens every once in a while. I don't know if you saw everything disappeared for a second. Maybe it's the fog's fault. I'm going to back it up here for you so we can talk through again what happened. Again, sorry about that. I don't know. Everything glitched on the computer in front of me that I'm controlling things on, and you know how technology goes. We'll back it up here and take it back. I think we were at the atmospheric fuel when that happened. We'll watch and see how much instability we can get. If we can get a little more, we get those temperatures up a little bit, then maybe something can pop here early afternoon. If that does happen, we'll have to watch and see. A couple of these storms might trend a little stronger, and that remains to be seen with what happens here across the region. 12 p.m. till 8 p.m., a window of opportunity if that cap breaks. That's still the question mark for us. We'll see. That's why we're going to use a low brush here, a broad brush with a low end severe threat. Probably, if any storm does get going, might be a chance for some hail, maybe a nickel, dime, up to quarter, probably, and some gusty winds can't be ruled out either. Wouldn't surprise me if we got a storm or two. The tornado threat still low, won't rule it out, but that's something we're going to monitor here. And I'm going to use that time for tomorrow, 12 p.m. till 8 p.m. is that window of opportunity. So we're going to watch it, keep an eye on that here. Flooding threat, we'll call it medium. There might be some rain tonight that causes that. By tomorrow, though, that's not going to be a problem at all. We might see some localized ponding on roadways with areas that get greater than 1 inch, and that probably will be the case down towards Effingham, maybe as far north as Mattoon, Charleston, and Paris. I will mention this, full disclosure, the Storm Prediction Center does not have us in a risk for severe weather here. I think their thought process and looking at the National Weather Service thought process as well is that the cap should hold. Sometimes though in the winter months, the weather can, we're riding a real fine line with that. So we'll just watch and see here. That's tonight, that's tomorrow. It's generally just south of us here. We will get an update from the Storm Prediction Center at midnight tonight after our evening data comes through. And so that'll tell us, I think, more on what to expect for tomorrow. If there's any thought process, maybe they need to put a little marginal risk. That might be the extent we have here. But still, we've got to watch these. You got this strong low pressure system, a pocket of dry air aloft, warm temperatures at the surface. It raises eyebrows for meteorologists here. And I think we're walking a tightrope, leaning towards no storms, but I just can't say there won't be any at this point. Something we'll watch and see how things evolve. Let's talk temperatures real quick. Overnight tonight, temperatures are going to continue to warm. We're at the coolest part of the night pretty much now. Look what happens by the time we get to 7:30 tomorrow. Most all of us are in the 60s by then. 60 in Champaign, 60 in Decatur, 61 in Mattoon. And we're on our way to the mid to upper 60s out there. If we get some sunshine and these temperatures even overperform from that, it's crazy to think about temperatures like this. These are record highs for tomorrow. If temperatures can get maybe even a little higher than that, we get a little more sunshine, that might help to warm the air at the surface and get those temperatures a little higher. Suddenly we've got a storm that can break through that cap perhaps. The other thing is maybe if we cool the air aloft, and that may happen. It's a little disjointed on when that might happen. It might happen a little too late for us here to see any storms. That's the other thing that happened. We're going to watch those temperatures. We get to upper 60s, and that's something that'll be certainly if we are dry with no storms and we get a little sunshine. You'll want to get outside and enjoy this here, given those temperatures that are heading our way. The cold front then comes into the evening. You'll see by 6, 7 o'clock, we'll start to get the 40s back and be on the way to 30s as we go into Wednesday morning. And gotta say, there will be some wintry mix in the backside of the system here. Get all that rain out of here. There's that dry area still. The front is further behind. Something we'll have to watch. As we get into Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, and Thursday, can't rule out some snow showers. The good news, though, is that temperatures still warm enough near or above freezing where I wouldn't expect any issues with any wintry mix or impacts from that. So that's something we'll keep an eye on here. And another note, maybe into the weekend, probably Saturday, get another chance at some wintry mix, a mix of rain, snow. But impacts at this point, not really concerned on it, but we'll watch it. We'll keep you updated on that. All right, that is what I have for you here tonight. Again, The key, we'll recap. The key to tonight, we're getting rain and storms. Expecting that. You may wake up with some lightning and thunder if you're heading to bed early. Tomorrow, the key is instability. Do we get enough? If we do, then maybe there would be the chance for a few strong storms on the table. At this point, I tend to lean towards not enough, but I just can't be confident in that at this point. So we're going to watch and see how the instability plays out with the storm chances tomorrow. And then, of course, the fog is going to continue. There's the dense fog advisory that's in place here, and it will be in place through midnight. Quite a dynamic system with rain and storms and wintry weather to the north, rainstorms to the south here. There's yellow colored areas or tornado watches. Plenty of rain across the region as well. We should get a half inch to an inch on average in the area, probably leaning towards the lower side of that range, and some spots are going to get less than a half inch, unfortunately, with that dry pocket coming on through. We'll get at least some rain and storms. I want to pretty much guarantee that. We'll see a drink of rain for most all of us here expected tonight. Might be some dry time, and the longer we're drier, of course, the less rain we see, but it should fill on in. You can see here kind of that dry pocket there as this rain fills on in. That's what we're watching, but there's still some rain and storms in the backside as well that we'll keep an eye on here. And I'll flip on the lightning real quick again. Plenty of lightning here now coming into Macoupin and Fayette counties. That's going to move towards Shelby, southeastern Christian, Effingham counties, and then up towards Macon, Moultrie, Douglas, eventually into Champaign, Piatt counties as well before it continues to lift on through. So we'll watch it here. At least count on rain and storms. And then tomorrow, just keep up to date with the forecast. Worst case scenario, we got a couple of strong storms. We'll be here watching. Best case scenario, mid-upper 60s, get some sunshine, enjoy a warm January day before those 30s and 40s are back to finish out the week and into early next week. All right, I'm going to check for questions. If there's any specific questions we haven't answered, we'll do that. Drop them in the chat. This should be the end of it here. Remember, news at 9 on WCIX, 10 o'clock on CBS, and then we'll be back keeping you updated. I'll probably be around through the late night hours, just keeping an eye on things to make sure. So, okay, question-wise, got folks checking in from across the area. Enjoy seeing that. Here's a good question. You know, this question here at the bottom, Candy from St. Joe, how about a report on which winters we've had the least amount of sunshine? A really tough time this year. This has been a rough year for sunshine. December was remarkably cloudy for us. I'll have to double check. I think it was 4 days had sunshine, good sunshine. Yeah, some days with some partly cloudy skies, but it was a very low number. It kind of reminds me of my first year here, the winter 2020-2021. December was just it was like 8 weeks that I got here. It was cloudy as can be. Typically in La Nina winters, that can be a problem for us, is sometimes we just get stuck in cloud cover and we can't shake it. And that seems to be the case. Really on the 7-day forecast, if we get some sunshine, at least a good day of sunshine, might not be till Friday. We'll probably have some sunshine tomorrow, probably have some sunshine at times to start Wednesday, but a couple days of sunshine, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? What else? Other questions. Chance for regular thunderstorms in Champaign County. We'll have some regular storms arriving soon. In fact, why don't we do a little bit of work here, and we'll just figure out. Okay, so the leading edge of this storm here, that leading edge is right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it back and measure how fast it's moving. It's moving pretty quick. Yeah, that might be taking a little more of a right jog as well, so that might miss us specifically here. But the distance from there, let's see, it's about there. Am I a little further down? It's about, we'll say 45 miles in an hour. So 45 mile an hour, let's time that out then. I might bump it up to 50 just for an earlier time in arrival. Just to see here. It kind of, to me, seems like, it's moving a little more this way. So that might just miss Champaign. But if we go, let's just, I'm going to tend that to graze us to what time we could maybe think about it here. So times here, you're talking Effingham during the 9 o'clock hour within a half an hour. Mattoon, 9:50. Charleston, 10 o'clock. Earliest time of arrival for that rain and storms. Champaign, if we get into lightning and thunder, maybe 10:45, just after the 10 o'clock newscast. That might end up being a little more south and east, but we still could get some rain. We'll still get some rain out of it. The question is, will there be enough? It seems like the thunder and lightning stops here, but there's still some light showers there. This corridor here, south of Champaign, south and east, basically, we'll say from Shelbyville to Danville and south and east, probably has the greatest chance to get an inch of rain based on trends here to the north and west of that. Probably in the ½ inch to an inch, maybe even on the lower side there, but there's that estimated time there for you. Angie asking about snow. We got no snow for tonight, tomorrow. By Wednesday evening into Thursday, there'll be some snow showers. I don't really expect a lot at this point. The ground is going to be warm thanks to this warm air we've had. And temperature's still going to be near or above freezing at times. And so for impacts, that's not really something that looks to be problematic at this point. Missy asking about Paris and storms. I think you're going to, you go to bed here in the next couple hours, you'll probably hear some rumbles of thunder and sleep pretty good. So that's something that we'll watch. Maybe we can lay out tomorrow. That's a great idea. Fingers crossed we can do that. We'll just have to keep an eye on it and see if we can keep that drier air, keep the cap in place, no storms, and we'll have a great day. So that's what we'll watch. All right, folks, that is what I have for you. Again, just a last little recap on this. Tonight, probably going to be okay. Heavy rain, plenty of thunder and lightning in spots here. And for January standards, I think it'll be pretty impressive. Flooding threat, we'll call it medium. There might be some ponding in the roadways, some heavy rain falling in a short period of time, but I don't expect big problems. The ground can soak it in. It's thawed out, thanks to the warmth at least, and so runoff not going to be a huge problem, but there might be a little bit here. Then the question for tomorrow, that's going to be noon to 8 p.m. How much instability can we get? And will that be an issue for us? This is the graphic I used on the website for who has the better chance here. And you can kind of see the better chance for tomorrow afternoon to see some storms, the higher chance, the greater chance, more likely, if that makes sense. Effingham, Mattoon, Charleston, Paris. That might be the cutoff line, but I just can't rule it out further to the north and west, developing sometime, maybe moving on through. Storms themselves will be a little more isolated in nature if they're able to form. Tomorrow, not going to be a heavy rain problem, but if we do get a storm or two, that is what we got to watch. All right, folks, that's how I have for you. Thanks for sticking with me here on digital platforms, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on the WCIA3 weather app and on WCIA.com. We got a newscast at 9 and 10. We'll see you then. I'll be up here probably for at least a couple hours after the day just to watch rain and storm, and I might get to enjoy some thunder and lightning here at the station myself. See you tonight on TV, and we'll keep you updated. Be sure and stay up to date with the forecast as well tomorrow morning with Adam.